Have you ever wondered why some people have a magnetic pull that can sway others to do their bidding? This magnetic pull isn't always a result of charisma or charm, but sometimes it's a product of something far more insidious: narcissistic manipulation. Now, you might be thinking, what's narcissistic manipulation? Well, it's a form of control that's as pervasive as it is subtle. It's like the wind. You can't see it, but you can feel its effects. It's a psychological strategy used by certain individuals to influence and control others, often without the person even realizing it's happening. This form of manipulation isn't confined to one type of relationship. It could be a parent, a spouse, a friend, or even a colleague on a wider scale. Narcissistic manipulation can start subtly, often with flattery and praise. But over time, it gradually erodes a person's self-esteem, making them second-guess their own perception and leading them to rely heavily on the manipulator for validation. This process is called gaslighting, a term you might have heard before. It's one of the most common tactics used by narcissistic manipulators. From childhood to adulthood, we may encounter manipulative individuals who use these tactics to control every aspect of our lives. They can make us feel like we're always in the wrong, that we're not good enough, or that we're selfish for wanting to take care of our own needs. These manipulative behaviors can be difficult to recognize, especially when they come from someone we trust or love. They have a way of making their actions seem reasonable, even when they're not. But it's crucial to be aware of these behaviors, as they can significantly affect our mental health and overall well-being. Recognizing narcissistic manipulation is the first step to breaking free from its grasp. Knowledge is power, and understanding how these tactics work can help us set boundaries and protect ourselves from emotional harm. In this video, we'll explore some real-life examples of how narcissistic manipulation operates in various relationships. Picture a family friend, someone who's always around, always caring, but somehow always seems to have things go their way. Let's call this person Alex. Alex is the kind of person who lights up a room with their charm, always knows what to say, and seems to have a knack for making everything fall into place. But behind this charming facade, there's a subtle game of manipulation at play. Alex is a master of the art of persuasion. They use their charm and kindness as tools, subtly influencing those around them. For instance, when the family plans a vacation, Alex always has the perfect suggestion for a destination, skillfully steering the conversation and influencing the family's decision. But it's not just about controlling decisions, it's also about controlling emotions. Alex knows just what to say to make the family feel good about their choices, even if it's not what they initially wanted. They have a unique ability to make the family feel guilty if they don't go along with their ideas, creating an invisible string of control. This manipulation isn't immediately noticeable. It's a slow process, gradually wearing down the family's ability to make autonomous decisions. Over time, the family starts to rely on Alex's opinions, losing their sense of independence. They begin to question their own judgment, their self-confidence dwindles, and they feel lost without Alex's guidance. In this case, the family friend Alex used their charm and kindness to subtly manipulate the family's decisions and emotions. This is a classic sign of narcissistic manipulation. It's not the overt, aggressive control we often associate with manipulation. It's subtle, it's insidious, and it's highly effective. The family friend in our story used their charm to control situations, a common technique in narcissistic manipulation. It's crucial to recognize these invisible strings of control and understand the impact they can have on our lives. Now imagine a person in your society, seemingly well-respected, but with a hidden knack for pulling strings. Picture a community leader, someone with charisma and influence. They're admired, respected, and are often looked up to. But beneath the surface, they have a hidden talent for manipulation. This is not just a hypothetical scenario, it's a real case study. There was such a leader who used their charm and influence to subtly manipulate others. They were the puppet master and their community, the unwitting marionettes. So how did they do it? It's a complex web, but let's break it down. They started by building trust, earning respect, and creating a sense of dependence. They were always there to lend a helping hand, to offer advice, to solve problems. They positioned themselves as indispensable, a pillar of the community. But this was only the first step in their manipulation. They then used their influence to subtly control others. They would suggest ideas, plant seeds of doubt, and slowly steer people towards their desired outcomes. They were masters of the art of persuasion, using their words and actions to subtly guide others. The effects of this manipulation were profound. People began to doubt their own judgment, always deferring to the leader's opinion. They felt lost without their guidance, unable to make decisions on their own. They became puppets, their strings pulled by the invisible hand of the puppet master. But the signs of manipulation were there if you knew where to look. The excessive dependence on the leader, the self-doubt, the inability to make decisions independently. These were all signs of a community under the control of a puppet master. This is a stark reminder of how manipulation can be wielded by those in power. It's not always obvious, it's not always overt, but it's there, hidden beneath the surface, waiting to be uncovered. Our community leader wielded their influence to control others, another classic sign of narcissistic manipulation. The effects of such manipulation can be far-reaching and profound. Indeed, the impact of narcissistic manipulation can ripple out, touching not just individuals, but entire communities. Let's delve a little deeper into the psychological and emotional aftermath of such manipulation. It's like a puppeteer pulling the strings of a marionette, controlling their every move. Now imagine that marionette is a person, and the strings are invisible, woven with words and actions that may seem harmless at first glance. But these strings can bind tightly, affecting a person's self-esteem and impacting their decision-making ability. Imagine constantly second-guessing yourself, questioning your worth, your abilities, your choices. This is the reality for many who have been subjected to narcissistic manipulation. This manipulation can also have a profound effect on a person's overall mental health. The constant stress and anxiety can lead to conditions such as depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, and even suicidal thoughts in extreme cases. The harm doesn't stop there. The ripple effect continues, spreading into the wider community. A person manipulated by a narcissist may begin to mirror their manipulator's behavior, creating a cycle of manipulation and control that can affect many more people. In a community, such patterns can lead to a toxic environment where mistrust and manipulation become the norm. This can stifle growth, hinder progress, and ultimately tear the very fabric of the community apart. But it's not all doom and gloom. Understanding the impact of narcissistic manipulation is the first step to breaking free from its chains. It's essential to recognize the signs, to understand how it affects us and those around us, and to seek help if needed. Narcissistic manipulation can leave lasting scars, affecting one's ability to trust and form healthy relationships. But remember, these scars do not define us. They are a testament to our resilience, our strength, and our ability to rise above the manipulation and reclaim our lives. So, how can we protect ourselves from falling prey to such manipulation? Well, there are a few strategies we can use to recognize and protect ourselves against narcissistic manipulation. Let's dive right in. Firstly, cultivate self-awareness. This means understanding your feelings, thoughts, and reactions. When we become more self-aware, we can better recognize when someone is trying to manipulate us. This awareness can act as a shield, bouncing off the manipulative tactics that narcissists often use. Next, it's essential to set boundaries. This doesn't mean building walls around ourselves, but rather establishing clear lines of what is and isn't acceptable behavior. Boundaries allow us to maintain our self-respect and personal space, preventing others from taking advantage of us. It's okay to say no, and it's crucial to stand firm on this, even when faced with resistance. Another important strategy is seeking professional help. Consulting a mental health professional can provide invaluable support. These experts can equip you with tools and techniques to handle narcissistic manipulation effectively, helping you to regain control and peace in your life. There's no shame in seeking help. In fact, it's a sign of strength and self-care. Lastly, educate yourself about manipulation tactics. Knowledge is indeed power, And understanding how manipulators operate can help you spot their tricks. This might involve reading books, attending workshops, or even watching videos like this one. The more you know, the less likely you are to be drawn into a manipulator's web. And remember, you are not alone. Many people experience narcissistic manipulation at some point in their lives. It's a challenging situation to navigate, but with the right tools and support, you can overcome it. Remember, knowledge is power. By understanding narcissistic manipulation, we can better protect ourselves and our loved ones. So let's keep learning, growing, and standing strong against manipulation, for ourselves and for those we care about.